Fatima.
And I'm Siobhan, and welcome back to GloGarden. So we have not been super active over the last year, but we have noticed that one of our videos, Depression Hygiene, has reached overwhelming views and interaction in comparison with our other videos. So thank you so much. A lot of viewers were vulnerable and courageous enough to share their personal experiences in the comments section, and we really just appreciate the support that we've been shown.
Absolutely. So while the depression hygiene video focused on those with mental illness, this time we will be turning the focus towards the friends of those with mental illness.
Absolutely. And when we say mental illness, it should be noted that we're referencing more depression and anxiety, which can be extremely debilitating in their own rights, or mood disorders with those features. We're not specifically talking about psychosis or serious mental illnesses with the tips in this video.
Exactly. So some words you may have heard are unreliable, irresponsible, self-centered, pessimistic, party pooper. A lot of the times this is the view from the outside of those with mental illness symptoms. And it can sound harsh, but a lot of people do truly feel that way about their close ones with mental illness. The experience can be overwhelming for those with mental illness and those that are, helping and dealing with their friends that have mental illness. And it can truly affect the dynamic of both people involved in that relationship.
Definitely. And seeing someone that you care about at their worst can be upsetting, challenging, and just downright a lot to deal with. Your friend most likely, though, is plagued with a lot of guilt about any stress or negativity that their mental illness symptoms are contributing for the people in their lives. So they may actually end up feeling like burdens. So let's get into some tips on how you can be a good friend to keep your loved one feeling cared for and valued. So starting with check-ins. Checking in on your friend if you haven't heard from them in a while can make them feel like they're cared for. Just a simple message of, hey, I've been thinking about you, what's up? Or let's talk soon whenever you're available. Or even just sending them like a meme of like an inside joke that you guys have will make them know that you're supporting them and that you're thinking about them. But remember, keep it light, not too intrusive, because you are not their therapist. Yes. And when you're checking in on them, it may happen that you don't receive any sort of acknowledgement or response back, but just know that your effort is still very much appreciated.
Yes, if you don't hear back from them, please be patient.
Yes.
Give them their space. Try not to take anything personal. It's not about you, boo. They are going through their own journey.
It's not about you.
It's really not about you. And it's hard, obviously, to not take it personal, but just focus on what's important. Trying to get your friend to feel better. So for those experiencing mental illness symptoms, getting back to people and communicating constantly can be very overwhelming. Of course, it's natural to worry about them and ensure that they're okay, but crowding them may just add more stress and sometimes even intensify their experience. With that being said, it's very important to respect people's boundaries. For example, if your friend is taking medication and they don't want you to ask them if they've taken it today, don't keep pressing them. It's not going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Boundaries do work both ways, so if you have some set for yourself too, they also need to be respected. And things like violence, throwing objects, name calling are not helpful at all in any relationship. So you should be firm in letting them know that you will not tolerate any type of mistreatment. And the same should be for your friend with mental illness. They shouldn't be tolerating those things either.
Absolutely. Respecting boundaries is essential in any healthy dynamic. If your loved one does become heated, becomes frustrated, starts to yell, it can be difficult, but try your best to keep your tone even-keeled and to remain as calm as you possibly can. Because if everyone is excited and the energy is too frantic, it's most likely not going to be very helpful in terms of communication anyway, But speaking of communication, when communicating with your loved ones, it can be really, really helpful to use reflective responses. So reflective responses are used to validate your friend's emotions and acknowledge that you're attempting to understand the way that they feel. For example, if your friend says, "Everyone hates me. I am positive that everyone hates me," instead of immediately saying, "No, you're wrong. That is not true.
Hmm.
Try to say something that affirms the way that they feel. Like, it must be really disappointing to feel that no one cares about you. Yes. Because that way you focus on the emotions that your friend is sharing.
Exactly. So you may be able to help your friend just by asking the simple thing, how can I help you?
Very simple.
If you see them struggling with something like, cleaning their room, staying a bit more organized, maybe they have some dishes piling up, you can offer to extend a hand, help them throw things away, help them get more organized and decluttered. The smallest little efforts definitely make a difference.
I would love if somebody came over and asked to help me clean up.
Would you like help cleaning up?
I would love some help. But honestly, guys, I like to think of the analogy of the person with mental illness being 50 feet underground, stuck in a well, calling for help, and being exhausted knowing that they don't have the strength to climb up that 50 feet of land. Okay? But what would be so comforting and relieving would be to see their loved one, a person that cares about them, at the top of the well, throw them down a ladder. Now, when you throw them down a ladder, they may not climb up it right away. The person will climb up when they're ready. It is their choice. They may not have the strength from all of the numerous attempts of scratching trying to get to the top, or they may simply just not be ready. It's up to them, and your effort and just being there for them is appreciated no matter what.
Exactly. So with the analogy that Siobhan gave about someone being in the well, it's not going to be helpful for you to jump down and you guys are both stuck in the well. Now who's going to, help, get both of you out of the well? So definitely giving resources to help them is something that's going to be way more beneficial.
Absolutely.
Although it may seem that your friend doesn't want to get better, know that they are trying their hardest and they do want to get better.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort and energy to make those types of changes. It's also important to remember that mental illness is very complex. It is not a monolith. It continues, over a spectrum with the severity of it. What works for some people definitely won't work for some other people. So just remember to be patient throughout the process.
Right. And it's also helpful to realize that your friend may relapse to old patterns and behaviors. And it's honestly likely to happen because recovery is not linear. It's just not. So patience and empathy are the names of the game here. Remember that your friend is going to be going through a really dark and confusing time and may have difficulty understanding their own reactions to what they're experiencing. So continue to empathize, put yourself in their shoes and understand that it's a very tough time, and just try to be the best friend that you possibly can be. There are wonderful resources out there for how to be a good support to someone with mental illness. Namely, I would recommend checking out your local Nami chapter. Nami stands for National Alliance of Mental Illness. And maybe take a look at their family support group, their family-to-family education course. You can even recommend Nami Connection group to the friend who's actually experiencing the mental illness. Fantastic.
Absolutely. And we'll have links to all the information that Siobhan mentioned within the description box of this video. And we just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, Blossoms. We wish you better days ahead and hope that, amazing things are going to happen. Until next time, bye.